Hi, in this video for the perfectly practical bag, we are going to talk about pockets. You have some options with your pockets. On the outside of the bag, you can have a zippered pocket, and it can either be a visible zippered pocket, where you can see the zipper. You can have a covered zipper, where you don't see the zipper at all. Or you can have an open top pocket. Those I do recommend that you put on the inside of the bag, but you can also put them on the outside of the bag. Just to take a step back in your construction process, this is a finished center panel which you're going to put your pockets on. You have fused interfacing, Interform Plus, to your inside fabric. You have fused Interform Plus to the outside, and you've done your channel stitching and trimmed it up to the width in the pattern. To start your pockets, we're going to talk about the zippered pockets first, and then we'll talk about the open top pockets. I recommend a 14-inch zipper with a wide zipper tape. This is a 4.5 zipper, and its zipper tape is just a little bit wider than normal. It's easier to sew. So take your two outside pocket pieces, place them right sides together, slide your zipper in between, and this is a 14-inch zipper, so it's going to extend on both ends a little bit wider than the pocket. And that's so that you don't have to deal, when you're sewing the pocket on, you're not dealing with this end or your zipper pull. So sew that across here with a 1/4 inch seam. Make sure you've lined all those top edges up. Then it should look like this. One of the other things that I want to mention is you want to have, if you have a preference on your pocket fabric to which is going to be the outside and which side is going to be the inside, make sure with your pull up, your outside fabric is on top, so that when you go to flip this right side out, you've got your zipper facing in the right direction. So once you've sewn across there with a 1/4 inch seam, fold it up, iron it nice and flat away from the zipper, flip it over, iron the back up away from the zipper, and now your zipper pull is up and the fabric that you want on the front of the bag is also up. Once you've done this, you want to sew across here with about an 1/8 inch seam. You just want to make sure that when you sew this seam, you're catching the end of the zipper or the edge of that zipper tape right in your stitching. What this does is it helps to prevent the fabric from getting caught in your zipper teeth. So that will look like this. So you can see that seam right across there. It's about an 1/8 inch. The first option we're going to look at is the visible zipper, which is this one right here. You are simply going to take a 2.5 inch binding strip. Now you can use either your outside fabric, or you can use what you would use for your binding, your handles, and your bottom. You can use either one of these. I happen to like using the outside fabric a little bit more, but you can use either. Sew your binding you folded your binding in half. Match the raw edges to the top edge of your zipper and iron that so it's up. You're going to take your center panel and you're going to pin in these corners and right below the zipper teeth. You're going to pin right there. Pin this up and simply stitch across the top and 1/8 of an inch away from this seam. Again, both of those will help to keep this seam right here will help to keep the fabric away from your zipper teeth, and this will just finish that top edge. Now I'm going to pull this bag back over here, and you can see where I've stitched right there 1/8 of an inch across, and I've stitched right through the center panel and the binding right across the top. That firmly attaches that top of the zipper to the bag, so it's easy to pull back and forth. The next type of zipper that before I go on, I forgot one more thing. The next thing that you'll want to do is you want to attach the sides. So you're going to pull the zipper pull back, and you're going to stitch across here 1/8 of an inch away from the edge, and across here, right across the zipper, so very slowly across those zipper teeth. And then once you finish that, you can trim all this excess off. So the next one that I'm going to show you is the covered zipper, and that looks like this right here. On the covered zipper, what you'll do is you will start with a 3.5 inch wide binding strip. Now on this one in particular, I do like to use the main focus fabric on the outside of the bag. I think it looks better, but again, you can use your binding fabric if you want to. Fold this piece in half and stitch across the top. Turn it right side out. You'll use 1/4 of a seam to stitch across the top. Turn it right side out, and this may be hard to see, but here's my seam right here. Notice how I've positioned the seam about 1/4 of an inch down from the top. So what you're going to do next is you've sewn your zipper into your pocket like you did with the other one, and you're going to place this top edge where the seam is on top of the zipper. Now the zipper is just barely going to be covered because you'll want to be able to access that pull, and you don't want this fabric to be caught in that pull. So position it so that it just covers this bottom seam. So it will be placed like this. Then you're going to sew across about 1/4 of an inch away from the zipper teeth. Now that is a seam that you're going to be sewing a little blind. So you'll just have to feel with your presser foot where you are positioned, but you want to be about 1/4 of an inch above that zipper. And then you also want to stitch, like you did on the other one, very close to the fold. Now I'll show you on this bag what that looks like. So here's my 1/4 of an inch above the zipper tape right here, and then right at the top of the fold. And so what this does is the zipper pull will hang down below this cover, but you'll be able to access it quite easily. After you've sewn this top seam, once again, you want to pull your zipper pull back to the center and stitch down on each side. So you're going to stitch 1/8 of an inch away from the edge on this side and 1/8 of an inch away from the edge on this side. Once you've done that, you can trim up your edge of your zippers. The last option that you have is what's called an open top pocket, and that one's simply just a pocket that's been bound on the top, and you're simply going to pin that onto your bag, and so your pocket's going to look like this with a binding on the top. Pin it onto the bag. Now notice how the pocket on the inside, because this is the inside pocket, is slightly shorter than the pocket on the outside, and that's so the bindings won't overlap and there won't be bulk there. So I hope you have a good time with the zippers. It really is an easy way to attach a zipper to a bag. That's it.